What's up, YouTube? This is the 82 and 0 podcast. Continuing on, today we're going to talk about James Worthy. Now, James Worthy was born February 27th, 1961. For anyone who doesn't know who he is, let's get into it. Now, he was born in North Carolina, and this would inspire him to go to North Carolina, UNC, which for anyone who doesn't know, he was college teammates with Michael Jordan. Growing up, he played high school basketball in Gastonia, North Carolina, and he had averages of 21.5 points per game, 12.5 rebounds per game, 5.5 assists per game. And he was a 1979 McDonald's All-American. He was in the 1979 McDonald's All-American game, which featured future Hall of Famers Isaiah Thomas, Dominique Wilkins, and Ralph Sampson. So like I mentioned, he went to UNC and he played with Michael Jordan. He was a key member of the 1981 NCAA runner-up team alongside Sam Perkins. As a junior power forward, Worthy was leading the scoring in 15.6 points per game. And this is one of the greatest collections of talent in college team history, because you had Sam Perkins, Michael Jordan, and obviously Big Game James. So he was the co-winner of the Helms Foundation Player of the Year with Ralph Sampson of Virginia. He dominated the 1982 championship game against the Georgetown Hoyas. And I believe he had 28 points. So after all his success, Worthy elected to forego his senior year and entered for the NBA draft. He completed his degree later via summer school, which he's one of 8 players to have their numbers retired by the Tar Heels. And in 2002, Worthy was named to the ACC 50th Anniversary Men's Basketball Team, honoring the 50 greatest players in the Atlantic Conference history. So, for anyone who doesn't know, the Lakers were already a good team. They won the 1980 championship. They had Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Now, the Los Angeles Lakers had received the Cleveland Cavaliers' 1982 first-round draft pick, which was from a 1979 exchange for Don Ford. The Cavaliers finished with the NBA's worst record in the 81-82 season, leaving a coin toss to decide whether or not them or San Diego would get the first overall pick. Now, it's kind of crazy how the Lakers got lucky with 2 picks. You know, they had Magic Johnson in 79, James Worthy in 82. It's just crazy to me how they got that lucky twice. Now, going into his rookie year in the 82-83 season, he'd averaged 13.4 points per game, 5.2 rebounds per game, and 1.2 steals. And he would come off the bench for Jamal Wilkes. He only started 1 game for the 82-83 season. And in his rookie season, the Lakers would lose in the finals to the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, the next year, he started getting more starting role. So he started 53 of the 82 games. He put up 14.5 points per game, 6.3 rebounds per game, 2.5 assists per game. And he was playing power forward that year for the most part. And they lost in the finals again to the Boston Celtics in 7 games. So already in his first 2 seasons, he's been to the finals twice, but he hasn't won anything yet. Now, in 84-85, he wins his first championship on the Lakers, averaging 17.6 points per game, 6.4 rebounds per game, 2.5 assists. Now, by the 85-86 season, this is when he would have his breakout role. He was named to his first All-Star appearance, putting up 20 points per game, 5.2 rebounds per game, 2.7 assists, 1.1 steals, and they wouldn't make it to the finals that year. However, in 87 and 88, they would win back-to-back championships, the Lakers. And this is when Kareem started becoming less of a star player on this team, and it really became James Worthy and Magic Johnson. So he would actually win the 1988 Finals MVP. And this is where he got his nickname Big Game James, because they were matched up against the Detroit Pistons in 1988, and they had a classic 7-game series. And the 7th game, the deciding game, the Lakers won by just 3 points. The final score was 108 to 105. It was a very close game. And James Worthy came correct. He came and put up 36 points, 16 rebounds, 10 assists, and 2 steals on 68% field goal shooting. Yeah, it's freaking insane. So this is to give you an idea of how good this Lakers Big Three is, because in 85, you had Kareem win Finals MVP. In 87, you had Magic win Finals MVP. And now in 88, it's James Worthy who wins Finals MVP. Now, they unfortunately wouldn't win another championship together. Age started catching up to them. Guys like Kareem retired after 89. And he would go on and play a few more years. And by 90-91, he'd average 21 points per game. And this would be the final season of Worthy and Magic together. They would make it to the finals in 91, losing to the Chicago Bulls in 5 games. However, James Worthy didn't play in the finals that year. He was hurt. He was injured. And can't remember what his injury was. Oh, he had a high ankle injury during the 91 playoffs. And he would actually have season-ending knee surgery in 1992. So a lot of his leaping ability was affected after these knee injuries. And he started struggling with really bad knee pain in the 94-95 preseason. And so he decided he just wanted to retire because his knees were giving out on him. And so he retired kind of young, in the 93-94 season. Although he wouldn't start any games that year, he kept his minutes low. He was just 32 years old, and that would be his final year. So he only played 9 seasons in the NBA. Kind of crazy to think about. And Magic Johnson himself only played 13. So James Worthy, let's talk about his accolades. He's a 7-time All-Star, 3-time NBA championship, 2-time All-NBA, 1988 Finals MVP, and he's on the NBA 75th anniversary team. Now, his numbers may not pop out at you because he was on a really great offensive team with a lot of scorers. But when you watched him in the clutch, like I mentioned that Game 7, there's a reason they call him Big Game James, because he would step up when he needed to. So that's James Worthy. Let me know what you guys think down below. Thanks for watching. I can feel you.